3 AI tools that will save you 20 plus hours this week. Stop what you're doing for a second, because most people using AI right now are actually making their life harder. They open a tool, type something in, get a mediocre result, and then spend more time fixing it than if they just did it themselves. That's not saving time. That's wasting it. But here's the truth. If you use the right AI tools the right way, you can easily get back 20 plus hours this week alone. And I'm not talking about theory. I'm talking about real workflows you can start using today. And the third tool? That's the one that quietly does the work for you in the background, and most people completely overlook it. Let's get into it. The first tool is ChatGPT, but not the way most people use it. Most beginners treat ChatGPT like a search engine. They ask one question, get one answer, and move on. That's the slowest way to use it. Here's where it gets interesting. The people who actually save time use ChatGPT like a trained assistant. Instead of asking random questions, they give it a job. For example, instead of saying, "Give me YouTube ideas," you say, "You are a YouTube strategist. My audience is beginners interested in making money with AI. Give me 10 high-retention video ideas with strong hooks." That one change completely upgrades the output. But here's the real game changer. You don't stop at one prompt. You build a workflow. Let's walk through a real example. Let's say you want to create a YouTube video. Step 1, ask ChatGPT for 10 ideas. Step 2, pick one and say, "Turn this into a high-retention outline." Step 3, now expand this into a full script with a strong hook and engaging pacing. Step 4, rewrite this to sound more natural and less robotic. Step 5, shorten sentences and make it more punchy for voiceover. Now think about that. What used to take you 3 to 5 hours, brainstorming, writing, rewriting, you just compressed into maybe 20 minutes. Here's the part most people miss. ChatGPT gets better the more context you give it. So instead of starting over every time, you can paste in your previous scripts and say, "Match this tone." Now it starts to sound like you. Quick reset. If you're only using ChatGPT for one-off questions, you're barely scratching the surface. The real power is in chaining tasks together. And once you start doing that, you stop working harder and start working faster. Now let's move to the second tool, because this is where things start getting organized. The second tool is Notion AI. Most people think Notion is just a place to write notes. That's a huge mistake. When you combine Notion with AI, it becomes your entire content system. Here's what I mean. Instead of having ideas in your phone, scripts in another app, notes scattered everywhere, you bring everything into one place. Now here's where it gets powerful. You don't just store information, you generate it. Let's say you're planning content for the week. You create a simple page with sections like ideas, scripts, titles, descriptions. Now inside that page, you can use Notion AI to instantly generate content. Stuck on a title? Generate 15 options. Need a description? Done in seconds. Want to summarize research? One click. But here's where it gets even better. You can turn this into a repeatable system. So instead of starting from zero every time you make a video, you open your Notion page, click a few buttons, and your content is already halfway done. That's how you save real time. Here's a real-world scenario. Let's say you're posting 3 videos a week. Without a system, each video might take 4 to 6 hours. That's up to 18 hours a week. With Notion AI and ChatGPT working together, you can cut that in half, sometimes more. Now, instead of scrambling for ideas, you're executing on a system. And that shift alone separates beginners from people who scale. Quick pattern interrupt. Think about how much time you waste just deciding what to do next. That's the hidden cost nobody talks about. AI eliminates that. Now let's get into the third tool, because this is where everything connects. The third tool is Zapier. And this is where things stop being manual completely. Zapier connects your apps so they work automatically. No clicking, no switching tabs, no repeating the same tasks. Here's a simple example. Let's say someone fills out a contact form on your website. Normally you would check your email, copy their info, respond manually with Zapier. That process happens instantly. The info gets sent to your workspace. An AI response gets generated. An email gets sent back to them, all without you touching anything. Now, here's where it gets really powerful. You can stack automations. For example, you drop a video idea into a folder. Zapier sends it to ChatGPT. ChatGPT turns it into a script. The script gets saved into Notion, and you get notified when it's done. That's not productivity. That's leverage. And here's the surprising part most people don't realize. The biggest time savings doesn't come from AI writing faster. It comes from removing repetition. Every time you repeat the same task, you're wasting time. Automation deletes that completely. So instead of doing the same thing over and over again, you build it once and let it run. Let's bring everything together. ChatGPT helps you think and create faster. Notion AI organizes and systemizes your work. Zapier automates everything in the background. Individually, they're powerful. But together, that's where you get your time back. That's where you start saving 20+ hours a week. And more importantly, that's where you start building systems instead of just doing tasks. If you made it this far, you're already ahead of most people. Because now you understand something most beginners don't. AI isn't about working faster. It's about working less. In the next video, I'm going to show you a full step-by-step system that turns these exact tools into a money-making setup you can actually use. No fluff, no theory, just a real system. So if you're serious about using AI the right way, stay tuned.